Where's my phone?
Here.
That's my phone.
It's a...
You put it on my phone.
I hate BakaTaka.
I hate your face.
We know. That's why you're trying to get out of it.
What is this? It's chocolate. Chocolate.
But whose is it?
It's mine.
Why haven't you eaten it?
Because it's in the wrapper.
He's not gonna eat the wrapper.
230 calories in this.
Yeah. I'm fat. Leave it alone.
Leave it at that.
Hey, you punk! That better not be the smell of slacking off!
It's a kiss, sir. A kiss.
Roger that!
What's a fun house?
Don't hold me back!
Unbelievably dull.
Thirdly, what jolly holiday ideas have you come up with?
All right, which one of you is next? Step forward.
Penalty!
Hello and welcome to BakaTaka, Season 2, Episode 9. With us as always is sitting on the left, it's
George.
in the middle, it's
Eric.
and I'm on the right, and I'm Chase. And you're listening to BakaTaka.
I'm surprised it's already episode 9 in season 2.
What's the total episode count?
the total episode count? Well, it was
Counting
12 on the
extras?
first one. Counting extras?
Not counting extras. Main
12 on the
six.
first one, 9 on this one, so
21. 21.
Episode- 21.
21.
21.
21.
21.
We made it.
Yeah.
Dude. Just, I mean, like, not trying to railroad it, but Death Stranding is out,
Yeah.
Dude, yes.
and it is exciting.
It's so good. So I have been planning, you guys know, I've been
Yeah.
planning on getting a PS4
Yes.
because I was really interested in playing Persona 5 The Royal when that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And that was probably going to be the point when I was like, finally, all right, trigger's been pulled. I'm buying a PS4. But I knew about Death Stranding. Looked super interesting. It's Kojima. I know that Metal Gear has
Yeah.
been his baby forever, and some of
Yeah.
those games are amazing. But it was so hard for me to like get into Metal Gear
Yeah.
at any point because it's like if I tried to jump in, I would have felt like I need to play the other ones.
You do have to play the other ones.
And I don't have the time,
Yeah,
or
I mean,
resources,
I made the
most of the
mistake.
time, or desire to do that.
I made the mistake of jumping into 4 as the
Yeah,
first
that's like the worst
It's
one you can jump
literally
into.
the worst game.
So,
But I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, like
So
Snake
fun.
Eater, you could jump into kind of standalone. Or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like Revengeance, but like 4 is no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really wanted to do that, but
But instead,
I heard Death Stranding was coming out, so I was just like really interested. And then they dropped that bundle,
Yeah.
you know, the Death Stranding bundle. It's got the Pro, so it's got the whole terabyte of storage, 4K support, which my TV has. So it was
Yeah.
like that's definitely the version I'm getting. It's got a cool design on the actual console itself. But the thing that pushed it over the edge, that controller, oh, I just loved it. It had like the kind of clear yellow plastic that kind of matches the BB units in the game. And I just really liked it. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to have to get this at some point anyways, I do want to play this game. I love this controller. I pulled the trigger. I got that.
Mm-hmm.
Played the game. Played it with Chase. We just sat on the
Yeah.
party chat playing for like, what, 12, 13 hours
It was
straight
like
on Saturday.
Holy moly. Did you guys take a stand break?
No.
Posture check?
Mm-mm.
Stay hydrated?
Nope.
You guys failed as gamers.
I ate a lot of salsa and chips.
and I went downstairs and made a ramen.
You
So
degenerates.
Leave me alone.
But we were doing it together,
Even
so
I
it
don't
makes
do
it okay.
Even I don't do that in World of Warcraft.
It's the power of friendship.
I took a break playing Pokemon.
Whatever, man. We had fun.
I believe it.
I
So-
mean, yeah, we weren't really doing anything.
But yeah.
But it was really fun.
Mhm.
And the game is it's not as weird as I thought it would be, because
No,
you
it
know,
really isn't.
yeah, it's like I thought it would be like so confusing and hard to follow,
Mhm.
like a Kingdom Hearts game or something
Yeah.
like that,
Mhm.
or the Kingdom Hearts timeline. But no, it's like while you're playing, it's like, okay, yeah, this, like, okay,
It makes sense.
I'm supposed to do
So,
this.
I avoided everything about it like the plague
Yep.
to get on here to listen to your guys' experience.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like you can spoil away, tell me
Oh,
anything,
okay.
because
Okay,
I literally
perfect.
avoided everything like the plague. Because
Perfect.
I'm not gonna play it myself.
oh,
I was just
okay.
gonna watch a
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
play or do something else about it.
So, the baby aging up. Like he's not carrying the baby so that it ages up, and
Yeah.
then he turns into the baby, and so that it's nothing to do with that.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So that theory was wrong.
Yeah, that was
everyone
wrong.
kind of thought that. No, the baby is basically just like
His
your search
connection.
app.
It's his connection to the other side. So
Yeah, so essentially
Okay.
the Death Stranding was this event that happened, and it was basically like, it's like a connection between the world of the living and the world of the dead.
Yeah.
And the BB, which is the Bridge Baby,
Yeah.
because of the Bridge Corporation company, whatever.
Mhm,
okay.
It's called a Bridge Baby for that reason, and basically it's a stillborn baby.
Okay.
And since its mother died during birth, it's basically connects whoever's using it to the world of the dead.
Oh, okay.
So it can let you see the BTs, which are beached things that they call the beach, like it's the other side essentially. So it lets you see them, so you can kind of avoid them while you're moving around and stuff. And you've got the time fall zones, which is like this. It's essentially just rain, but it ages everything super fast. So you gotta be careful moving through it, because especially if you have cargo on your back, it'll age the cargo.
Like if it's a metal crate, it just starts rusting.
Yeah.
The more it gets rained on.
It's some really cool stuff. If you ever need to play, if you ever just get a real hankering for a USPS simulator, it's the best one. It's just like, rebuilding America one package at a time.
Is it what everybody said was going to be like a walking simulator?
It's more of like a management simulator.
Okay.
There's a lot of inventory management.
Yes. You got to figure out, because like they'll send you like 7 like boxes at one, like sometimes they'll send you 7 boxes at one trip, and it's like, he can't really carry this stuff.
Yeah.
But I got a bike that can carry this stuff, but it can only carry 2, which means you still got to carry some. So you got to have the bike, but the bike has fuel, or it can run out of power along the way because it's a long distance.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so now I need to bring a generator along so that if my bike runs out of power, I can charge my bike and stuff like that.
But one of the really cool things about it, though, is though the game itself is single player, you'll play alone, you won't play with anyone else.
Yeah.
It's still a multiplayer game because it connects online, and when other players build structures like a generator or a watchtower
or a
bridge, a base, whatever, there's a ton of different structures. Well, maybe not a ton, but like a handful.
And we're still not really sure how like it chooses which ones to connect to and
exactly
stuff like that. But yet there's still random people stuff here.
But whenever you build something or someone else builds something and it's connected essentially to your game, when you go to an area and you connect it to what they call the chiral network, which is basically just, hey, I put you on the internet, so now you can use this stuff, and you're going across, putting people on the chiral network to connect America. And when you do that, you basically like get the map for that zone added. As soon as you do that, it's like, hey, other players' structures and signs and stuff, you can now see them and use them as at will. So if someone put a generator down, and you're like, oh look, there's a generator I can use, and you can
charge along the way.
You can go and you can like structures to send likes to other people. It literally uses a like system.
There's a bunch of
to rate people.
Things can like just kind of like wear down and stuff like that. Like his boots wear down like all the time, so like you can have an extra pair of boots like hanging on your side.
Yeah.
And,
so it's not like this grand epic story. Well, there is a storyline to it. Right?
We're not sure exactly what's going on.
So it's not like this grand epic story that people thought you were going to follow through. It's literally just like a management
you're
simulator.
going across America and connecting cities.
There is a big central story, and you are uncovering pieces, because it really does seem like the character you're playing as, Sam Porter Bridges, it does seem like he's actually very central to where this story is, and like he's very intertwined with it. Like his blood kind of has a special effect on the BTs and stuff.
Yeah, something
like there's some special
stuff
going on here.
He's got a better connection to BB, the baby, and stuff like that. Whereas most people are just like, that's a tool, and so I just use it as a tool. And stuff.
So
but he's got a connection to it.
So the BBs are essentially created for people who don't have any kind of connection to the beach. Sam actually does have a connection to the beach,
right?
Even if he doesn't have a BB. But essentially in the universe, people who have some kind of connection aren't really supposed to use the BBs, because it's almost like there's some kind of overlap, and that just kind of creates problems. But he was able to use it. Which is kind of just a weird phenomena. So that's why you have it in the game, and it's things are in the background of while you're playing. Every once in a while, you'll talk back to other people, and they'll be like, "Hey, we're looking into this, doing research. We figured this out.
Okay.
Unlocked a new thing for
So
you."
it's
done
like
this.
it's like arcing plot.
Yeah.
You're a special character, but the main thing is you're just delivering.
Yeah, you're going.
Yes.
You're just trekking across America,
Cool.
hooking up people to the network, completing all kinds of
And just
fetch quests and
making
deliveries.
deliveries,
That's the core gameplay. And honestly,
Okay.
it's really fun. If you go in expecting some kind of first-person shooter or something,
Yeah.
you're not going to get that. You do get a lot of the stealth stuff, though, that, from what I understand, is like Metal Gear.
Yeah, it's not as stealthy
Oh,
and
no.
stuff like that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely
Like there
good.
is, I saw that there was like a
Yeah.
stealth element to
Like
it.
there's the mules. They're like basically like just what are they? They're
Well, they're people who were deliverers before,
yeah,
essentially.
but now they just steal all people's
Okay.
crap and stuff.
Like
Yeah.
pirates.
Yeah, they're
essentially.
just pirates,
Okay.
and they have sensor bars and stuff like that. And eventually, you get this thing where you can kind of jam their sensor. But once you pass that sensor and stuff like that, they're like boom, boom, boom. And if they can scan a package that's on your back and be
Mhm.
like, "Hey, we want that."
Yeah.
so they know you're here and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and they know you're getting closer with that package and stuff like that. Sometimes you gotta steal stuff from them. And then that's when they find your package and stuff like that, they're basically just coming at you. You can punch them and stuff like that and knock
Yeah.
them over and stuff. Or you could, as George did, ram your bike through one of them.
So,
not a good idea, by the way.
killing people, you actually don't. You knock people out in this game.
Mhm.
Killing people is a bad idea, because if you kill someone, essentially,
They blow
you
up.
have a time limit before they just straight up explode.
Mhm.
Like nuclear explode because of the
Oh.
beach stuff.
Yeah.
That was essentially part of the game. Is you're in an area and you're trying to get people to trust you again.
Yeah.
Because there are terrorists who don't want you to connect America.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past, one thing they did, they sent people into giant cities who committed suicide.
Oh.
And then, they did it somewhere out of sight or whatever. And then
Yeah.
they, whatever the process is, necro, whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And then they explode and basically took out the entire city.
Okay.
So, and people blame the company, the shipping company that helped them, the Fragile Express.
Mm-hmm.
So Bridges is kind of connected to them because they
Yeah.
need Fragile's help, because Fragile has, the roots in that area, but
Yeah.
people don't necessarily always trust Fragile. So there's a
So
lot of stuff going on in the background that's kind of cool. There's some politicking.
is there a reason the terrorists are being evil, or are they just evil to be evil?
We don't know yet, right?
Okay, you haven't gone that far.
Yeah,
No.
there's a bad guy, right? Is he part of the terrorists?
Yeah, the bad
Yeah,
guy
okay.
showed up. He was working with Fragile Express, which is one of the reasons people don't trust all the porters anymore.
There is some like boss fights actually.
There actually are. Didn't expect that.
So yeah, if the BTs they come during the timefall, and if they catch you like with your clicky clack thingy and stuff like that,
Mhm.
yeah, if it clicky clacks too much and it's like they get too close to you and you're not like holding your breath completely or moving away from them at the same time,
Mhm.
then they'll come out. They'll like shoot this thing on the ground and it will catch him in like a swamp, like a black pit swamp thing.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah,
too.
you have to struggle your way out. If you don't, then he gets dragged across, and then you have to basically fight a boss. Which we also learned that if you run away from it, just ends the fight.
Yeah, you can literally just run away from it, and as
Mhm.
long as you get
But
out of
yeah.
its area, it'll just disappear.
But
But,
the-
then there are like actual boss fights that you
Yeah.
have to do.
Mhm.
But the bosses are all like they're all animals and stuff like that.
It's
But,
interesting. It's
yeah.
really weird.
Well, the first one was like an octopus.
It was like a giant like Cthulhu
Yeah.
cuttlefish squid kind
and
of
then
thing.
I fought one that George ran away. George didn't even fight and stuff like that. It was like a lion or something like that.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff, but we need to play more
Yeah.
to see the rest of what's going on
Yeah.
there.
That's cool. It sounds a lot different than I was expecting to be.
Yeah, it's a lot different than. I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect, but
Mhm.
it's definitely not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still okay with
Oh,
it.
once we play more, we'll definitely have to like talk more about the story and
Yeah.
like revisit it.
'Cause-
But right now, we still have like no idea what the overarching story.
I
That's going
believe
on
we
is.
are halfway through the game.
I think
Okay.
we are about half.
Because I was just gonna watch like Let's Plays and stuff of it. Because personally, I was never gonna play it or probably buy
That's
it.
fine.
Because I have
It's a
I have
long
enough other things that I was gonna play
Yeah.
and buy. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just
Things like Pokemon.
yeah.
Hey.
It's released today,
Oh,
November
man.
15th of this recording.
I've picked it up. I haven't
picked
even
up
put it
too.
in my system yet. I did open the box though, so
I have-
I'm moved.
That's better than I did. Mine's still in the wrap.
So I got both Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
I got Shield digitally, Sword physical.
Okay.
Yay! and I have played both.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you played one for like 10, 11 hours now.
Yeah, I think there's like
Because you almost started like at midnight, didn't
I have
you?
like 10 and a half hours. Yeah, so I started at the release Eastern time, which was midnight.
Okay.
Technically, it was like 12:04, but I mean, it was midnight.
Yeah.
So it was like 10 o'clock, 10:30. I started brewing up some coffee. I'm like, I'm going to get ready for this.
Yeah.
Ate a
Good
late
idea.
dinner, got some coffee.
Yeah.
I was up until like 4:30 in the morning playing it.
Nice.
Absolutely loved the game. So a lot of voices out there,
Oh, yeah.
lots of complaints.
Only
Lots of
negative stuff
anger.
online.
Holy
I haven't
moly.
seen any
I
positive
haven't
stuff.
seen
Everyone is
anything.
hating
Yeah.
on it.
So
The whole hashtag Game Freak lied and stuff.
Yeah.
It's, ugh.
So like I can understand
Garbage.
frustrations like your favorite isn't in. They did cut out like half the Pokedex.
Where's Marston?
Yeah. So it's like I can understand your frustrations like that, but just come on, just enjoy the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like-
It's a new Pokemon game.
Yeah. Like a lot of the people that are saying the game looks dead and stuff like that. The things they were showing were the open field, and I will agree that it looks dead on the open field sometimes
Okay.
because there is a problem with the draw distance of NPCs. It is
Yeah.
very short.
So you've played it for a lot.
Yeah.
Chase and I haven't played our own copies yet, but we did play about an hour's worth
Yeah.
before recording this podcast
Yeah.
for an upcoming Let's Play that we'll be releasing soon.
Yeah, whenever Chase edits them and gets them out.
Yeah.
They'll be out sometime.
Yeah.
So we watched, and that was, I think, the problem that stuck out the most to me.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that would be the only thing that I really recognized, and I was like, no, okay, that's not
Yeah.
cool. And it was that draw distance, because if it was any further away, just a little bit further, I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense. It's a pretty near
Yeah.
like range for them to have to pop in.
Yeah.
Like it's close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like even NPCs and stuff like that, you have to get pretty close to them for them to render in
Yeah.
when you're out in the field. But the actual render distance is fine. Like you can see everything in the background.
Oh, yeah,
everything is
yeah.
in. It's just NPC draw distance is not good.
But
But
I'm surprised they don't like draw them in as like a lower res and
Yeah.
then maybe up it
Yeah.
as you get closer, because I could see something like that
Yeah.
not
I mean,
taxing
that's
the
what-
system too much.
that's what Nintendo used to do, like on the N64 and stuff.
exactly.
Is they would just have them as like a one block, and they would slowly add texture to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's my only major complaint with the game right now. Most of the cities look fantastic. Like
I loved
they-
it. Oh,
so, bless you.
dear Lord, we gotta start the podcast over now.
Yeah. But a lot of the design they put in the cities, I think, is fantastic. Like, so Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they used a very bright, washed out color palette.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
It wasn't like a strong color, like
Yeah.
strong reds or blues.
Yeah,
So-
but like this, they use very strong, vibrant colors,
yeah,
and you can tell, like when you're in the big cities,
things
you-
look colorful.
yeah,
Yeah.
things really pop. It looks really cool,
Yeah,
That's good.
and it's just small things like I'll mention in the Let's Play, but like when you walk up to an NPC, like the nurses, like your
Mhm.
mom and stuff, they'll literally just like look at you, smile, keep going about the things. Little chat bubbles pop up.
the
I,
little.
I love it in a game when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
It sells the atmosphere a lot better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like most of the game, you spend all your time on the routes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of life in there. Like the first time I was going through on Shield, it was like Route 5 or something like. There was some point I was walking across a bridge, just minding my own business. I'm like, okay, just
right.
gonna keep trucking through, battle NPCs, battle some Pokemon. Literally, this the new grass Pokemon,
Don't
Ricky?
ask me.
Flossagor or something like that.
Huh?
It's a big cotton ball.
Oh, I don't know their names.
Yeah, I think it's Flossagor or something like that. Basically, I was just running across a bridge. This thing literally just starts floating by, and it's just like spinning. And I was just like, my dude,
Like a floating tumbleweed.
yeah. So I was like, okay, like people complain like it looks like there's no life in it. Like I'm enjoying the game. Like
Yeah.
there's stuff everywhere. It feels like there's always something to do. There's something to look at, something to
Yeah. I
enjoy
mean,
in it.
I'm really excited to play it because the last games I played I played Y. So
Yeah.
I played the X and Y Gen.
Yeah.
Gen 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played Gen 6. I got Moon.
Mhm.
I played a little bit of it and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, it's cool.
Yeah,
It just wasn't
That's
I don't
how.
know.
It
And
was
then I
more of X and Y.
traded it back in.
That's a lot. That's how a lot of people felt about Sun and Moon. It was like it's good, but it's a lot of reading, a lot of tutorials. Like the tutorial in that game is literally like 2 hours long.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was bad. But this, just even after just watching a little bit of it and the other
Yeah.
things I've seen,
Yeah.
sans all the negative stuff online, because that's all that's
Yeah.
online. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get back into Pokemon.
I'm excited.
Yeah, because like we were chatting about it the other day. It was just like most of the people that are complaining are people that are still going to buy it.
Yep.
They're going to play it for a week, beat it, and then they're going to trade it back in.
Exactly.
So
And I like to see that they're doing a lot of new things in the direction that Pokemon might go in the further. Because quite frankly, this is a very different Pokemon
Yeah,
game.
it is massively
they're
different.
going to do things, and if they
Mhm.
might be like, okay, people didn't like that. Maybe
Yeah.
we won't do that as much in the future. Or
Yeah.
people are like, oh, people really like this. They want more. We'll do more of that.
yeah,
I also love a lot of the little quality of life things they did,
yeah,
like the name changer,
Yeah,
the move
move
relearner
relearner.
guy. He's just in every
Pokemon Center.
Pokemon
Oh,
Center
you can
now.
change their names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
instead
a-
of just being one guy you have to give items to somewhere in a city in the games, he's just a consistent person you can find in every city.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah, and I showed in the Let's Play too. Like they dumbed down all the menu. Like all the information is readily available for you to see in battle and
Exactly.
to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would just say, "Oh, they're just trying to make the game super easy for other people." I'm like,
No, you want to
it's
make
not-
it easier.
It's not making it easier just to make the game
Yeah.
easier. That's stuff that just makes the game better.
Yeah.
There are things that just make the game easier.
Yeah,
And I can't say I'm a huge fan of all of that, but at the
Yes.
same time, I'm not the demographic. Okay, this
Right.
game is really for children, and we're just hanging on the coattails at this point because we don't want to grow up.
It's
Yeah.
the concept of Persona 5 in comparison to like 4 and 3 and stuff like that. It's just
Yeah.
like everything's just like so much faster and smoother and it just works better.
Yeah,
And they also stylized it a lot more.
yeah.
Pokemon's not really stylizing it
Yeah.
much.
It's just-
no.
People just they think they're making it easier, like George said, but they're literally just making things more convenient, and it's for the better, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of this stuff is just impossible information to find.
I think one thing that would be cool is if they, in the future, basically give you an option at the beginning of the game, basically just a difficulty thing.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, do you want this like super easy? Do you want this normal Pokemon?
Yeah.
Like what where you design the game as, or do you want this like hard? Like there's no tutorial. You
Yeah.
get the straight story stuff. We're not going to teach you how to throw a Pokeball.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah,
let your rival actually choose the starter that's better than the starter you chose.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, so then that's an
that's
issue
not a
too,
huge
is because
issue.
like Game Freak, they have small teams working on the games now.
they really do.
Because they said they've downsized their teams
Yep.
and they want small teams to work on these games.
Yep.
And they're pumping out a game every year.
Yeah.
If they do it that way, they're essentially making 2 games.
They're
Yup.
pumping out a
So-
game a year.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was literally released November 16th of last year.
Yeah.
I never really actually thought about it,
It's
but
crazy.
they've been doing it like a
Yeah,
year.
it's literally a year at a time.
Yeah.
They're going Call of Duty now.
Do you think there's any chance that they'll release a third version, like Diamond Pearl
Gun.
and then
So-
Platinum kind of thing for this? Do you think they'll
No.
do Sword Shield and then I don't know Lance?
No. So what they did with Sun and Moon was they just remade the game and added a bunch more in, and
Yeah.
Ultra Sun and Ultra
I'd be
Moon.
okay with that.
So I mean, if they do an Ultra Sword and Ultra Shield, I mean, obviously I'm going to buy it.
Yep, I know you will.
So personally, I think that way, and doing it that is kind of scummy business.
The Ultra Sun, Ultra
Yeah,
Moon.
I don't like that
I don't want to
business
have
model.
to buy 2 to get the premium version.
Yeah, I don't like that business model. But I mean, I'm part of the problem. I'm going to buy
Yeah.
it anyways. I don't like it though. So, I love the games, but I hate that part of the business model.
Because Emerald still stands as probably my favorite Pokemon game.
Emerald.
Emerald is
Love
probably one of
Emerald.
the best
Sa-
games.
Sapphire was the first one I played, and then Emerald. Going back to Emerald, and stuff was
It's
really
just
fun.
Emerald was amazing,
Emerald
and
was
I really
really good.
love Platinum too.
Yeah,
Platinum was great. I think those 2 would stand out as my favorite.
yeah.
I like Diamond. I played Diamond. I didn't play Platinum.
I did Diamond.
I think
and
my
Platinum.
brother said Pearl or something.
Yeah,
I've probably
Yeah.
played Gen 5 the most.
Is that
At this point, Black and White.
black and white? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I've probably played that the most.
yeah.
at
I
this
played
point.
Black, but I didn't play White, and I didn't play
I mean,
2 of
I-
either.
don't really play White. I do mostly everything on Black.
Gotcha.
Black and Black too.
We played 4 a lot because we all had a DS and we all had Diamond and Pearl.
Mhm, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love those secret underground.
My goodness, when we learned how to
bases.
use the Wi-Fi and how you could trade, it's just like
That did
What?
change so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been great.
I mean, when they in Gen, I think it was 4 with the DS, they started adding in like the global network.
Yep.
They could start. It was a little
So you
janky
could-
at the time. But
yeah, but you like if you connect it, it's like, hey, here's a Caterpie, and I'm looking for a Mewtwo or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you could get anything on a Wonder Trade.
yeah.
Just throw away some junk and you'll get a legendary level 1.
yeah. So, the new Pokemon is great.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm enjoying it.
It looks
It
good.
is so. It is short. That was one complaint people were having. I
Okay.
think I'm at the 5th or 6th gym, and I'm only 10 hours in.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So, and I'm just kind of. I mean, I'm looking at every nook and cranny. I'm catching most of the Pokemon,
Right.
battling most of the trainers. It's
You're
pretty,
doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it is fairly short. So I'm hoping the post game competitive
Mhm.
get me going, because that's the one thing I'm really looking forward to is competitive.
Yeah.
Because there's some wacky stuff that's happening competitive right now, like
Has this Pokédex already entered the competitive scene like fully, or
This-
people's already figuring it out and stuff?
I mean, everything was data mined,
So it's already out there.
All base stats, all moves,
Got it.
every ability, every hidden ability is out
Okay,
there.
so people are already doing competitive and
Yep.
trying to figure out the meta.
So they're going to figure out who's good at Dynamaxing, what Gigantamax you want to use, what kind of sets are good.
Nice.
Incineroar is back, so VGC is in tears. Yeah, there's just some wacky stuff going. Like Hydreigon gets access to like nasty plot and Dragon Dance.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, so it's a cluster. I think it's gonna be fun, especially with them cutting the decks.
Yeah.
Like so many checks and counters to things in the past just don't exist anymore.
Yep.
So a whole new metagame has to organically build itself.
That's cool.
So
That's cool. People are gonna do stupid things, and then someone's gonna do something else stupid to fight them.
Yeah,
and
so, like,
people
what's-
figure it out. That's how it should be.
yeah, like what Smogon does is they have their tiers like overuse, underuse, never use, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When a new metagame comes out, they're just like, okay,
All right.
everything is in OU. See what's broken, see what sucks,
Good.
and then we'll start looking at the statistics and start filtering them out.
Nice.
So
That's
like,
really good. They start it from a base and then
Yeah.
filter into other things once they actually have some data, instead of
Yeah.
being like, oh, well, here's the history from other generations.
yeah.
Right.
Here's what we think will happen now.
Yeah. No, they literally just put it, unless it's like the obvious Ubers, like Mewtwo will always stay Ubers, so stuff like
Yeah,
that. They're like, we'll just
right.
keep those aside.
Yep.
But like when Gen 6 came out, X and Y, they're like, okay, a lot of new stuff's in the game, like all these megas and stuff. We'll put all the megas in there, and we'll
Right.
allow Genesect to come back into the meta and see what happens. So if they did that in the first month, he absolutely tore OU apart. And they're like, okay, maybe he's still too strong. Genesect is back in Ubers.
Oops. Our bad.
So they're like, okay, Genesect is way too strong. Kangaskhan's broken. Let's push him out. Oh, you guys figured out how to break Lucario? Guess we gotta ban him. So it's like it's fun seeing how the meta builds, because like people, once the broken thing gets pushed out, people are like, okay, what's the next broken thing we can use and abuse?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like Mega Gengar is taken out because Volt turn teams were broken. Because you could just U-turn Volt Switch into Gengar, and he would just trap something and kill it.
Oh
Like,
my.
it's like, well, I can't have fun because I can't target one thing, and you just get Gengar in and kill me. So
Right.
I can't wait to see that. And then I've never really gotten big into VGC, which
Mhm.
is the official Nintendo format,
Yeah.
which is doubles 2v2.
Yep.
So I'm hopefully going to get in that.
Okay.
It'll probably be brain dead because Incineroar exists. So
Nice.
Oh, guys, I watched 3 movies within the last episode.
I watched at least one of those
Yes,
with you.
yeah. The
I
first,
did not watch any movies.
first one, me and George and our other friend Jack, we went and saw Konosuba, the movie.
Dude,
How was it?
it's good.
It's pretty good.
It's if you like Konosuba,
I love Konosuba.
you're gonna like the movie.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Konosuba and stuff,
Well,
but
sorry to hear you have that.
I did think that the movie was better than the series, though.
I absolutely.
that's fair.
I absolutely love Maggie Bean.
It's
She is
like
the best character.
you actually
Konosuba.
get character development in this movie,
Mhm.
and it essentially takes place right after season 2.
Mhm.
Not like right after kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it takes
I
place
mean,
after season 2.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're continuing the story because they did come out and say we're not making a season 3 of Konosuba.
They're not?
They said they were done animating like Konosuba.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah.
Now I'm
Oh,
sad.
yeah. So this one was animated by JC Staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So they said
yeah,
they were done with Konosuba, and then the movie came out, and they're like, we don't know if we're going to do any more seasons. We don't know what's going on. Just enjoy the movie.
Is Konosuba an original work or is there a manga?
Light novel.
There's a light novel?
Yeah. With that title, Konosuba is shortened down from the massive long name that it does have.
It's
Look, man,
it's-
I don't read.
But it's a light novel.
But yeah,
I might have to read the light novel because I love that story.
It is
I love
really
all of it
good.
so
there's a
much.
lot of good scenes in it.
It's such a different take on Isekai.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's see. The other show, or one of the other movies that I watched Black Fox. This is a Studio 3 Hertz original movie.
Never heard of it. Yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, it just came out in like August or whatever.
Yay, nay?
Yeah.
Meh.
Thumb up, thumb
it's
down.
mediocre.
Okay.
The reason that it is like that I have it like even mentionable and stuff is because 3 Hertz. I really like 3 Hertz, and they do some like they do some pretty good action. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Okay.
this is a good action movie
Yeah.
when it has the action scenes in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like 3 Hertz isn't really getting away from all these like it's just basically moe characters like all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like okay,
Yeah.
so it's that kind. It's a weeb kind of
Yeah.
thing that they're doing, and so
They're
they're
trying
not-
to get your money.
Yeah, so it's like all of them are like teenage girls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. But yeah,
Nice.
like the main character's like a ninja, and she's got like 3 robot pets. And so yeah, one's like an eagle, one's a rat, and I think the other one's a dog. Yeah. And they all can do different things. Like the bird can like because it's like metal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It can like actually support like her and like fly like with her and stuff.
Is
Oh,
the eagle
okay.
part of the zodiac?
I don't know.
Or like a bird or a hawk or something?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
But the mouse can like shoot out like projections out of its eyes and stuff like that, so it
Oh.
can like sneak up behind stuff and like shoot a projection up like a guy saying like everyone get out of the building and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's like yeah. And then the
Interesting.
dog, I think she can actually like ride on top of the dog and stuff
Okay.
like that, like points and stuff. Because they're just they're just robots running around
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So the action's really cool. There's some cool fight scenes.
What's it called again?
Black
Black
Fox.
Fox.
It's
Okay.
on Verve. You can watch it on there.
Black Fox. Okay.
Okay.
And what was the other movie?
And
you
then the
watched?
third one was I watched Children Who Chase Lost Voices.
Oh, yeah,
Makoto
that's
Shinkai.
yeah. That's one of his
I've heard
earlier
of that.
things.
Yeah, well, it's 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was
Yeah.
one of his earlier works.
Yeah, it was one of them. I I know that it wasn't the best and stuff, and it wasn't that good, but I couldn't look away.
Yeah.
Like
That's how I felt too.
Like I was watching it and it was like even other than the fact that like the animation looks really good and
Yeah.
stuff like that, like I just like the world, like it felt like it took things from like a Miyazaki world
Yeah.
and like just kind of like threw them all together,
Like-
and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like I like this part about it. It's really cool, like the dead people or something,
Yeah.
or like
Whoa.
there's
I like the dead
well,
people.
well so they're in like the
Chase 2019.
they're in like the underworld or something like
Okay.
that, and like there's like these creatures they're alive, like the main there's 2 characters that come who are still living and they
Mhm.
come down here because they're in search trying to bring someone back,
Yeah.
and like
Okay,
the
that makes
creatures
sense.
there can like sense that they're alive and they're basically just trying to eat them.
Gotcha.
I remember watching that movie. I remember at the end of it, I felt the same way. I was like, I hate this movie, but I couldn't stop watching it because
Yeah.
it looked really good.
It looks really good, and like just like things about it where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this works. It's just it wasn't done
Yeah,
right.
like the plot and everything was so convoluted. There's just like you say, like Shinkai, you're really good at like drawing, animating,
Mhm.
like
yeah,
cinematography. You're really good at all this, but your plot was not good. It
Yeah.
was really bad story.
It's also
Okay.
the most violent of all his works.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
what I mean.
'Cause
Like,
at-
yeah,
pretty much every film after that's just been your typical, not typical, but some sort of romance.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he did Garden of Words, Your Name. He's doing. He did
Weathering.
Weathering with You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also did the OVA series of She and Her Cat.
Yeah.
Which he didn't actually create, but he directed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So,
but yeah,
violence and action's not his thing.
yeah, but
Okay.
it was definitely there because
Yeah.
like a dude gets his arm cut off and like his bone is sticking
Oh
out.
dang.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do
And-
that with movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So
Not
But-
just random shows usually, no.
but yeah, I probably actually enjoyed that one the most out of all of them, even though like I knew there was problems in it.
yeah,
Okay.
But yeah, I had a good time with that.
nice.
Those were my movies that I watched. I mean, we did watch Legend of Galactic Heroes season
Yeah.
2 of the new one. Me
Watched
and
the
Eric
dub of
watched
it.
it like
Oh,
before
nice.
you got here. Yeah,
Yeah, just normal continuation of the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad
Nothing
it's
big.
not over.
They basically the season 1 they left off literally in the middle of a fight,
Oh wow.
and then season 2 picked up like
Nice.
immediately where it left off. So
Oh, that's good. That's good.
like, there's no way they're going to mess up a
Just
cult.
like John Wick.
Yeah.
There's no way they're going to mess up a cult classic like Legend of Galactic Heroes.
Cool.
And then there's some like shonen's ending apparently. Like,
Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a era ending in the manga shonen section. So
What's ending?
we all know Attack on Titan's probably on its last leg here.
Well, yeah,
it's-
we're getting one more
it's,
season.
It's last arc,
Yep.
and then our old faithful Food Wars has finally ended.
Yeah, you
The
told me
ma-
about that.
The manga has finally ended.
Apparently, no one wins.
No one wins the Soma Bowl.
And there's a time skip.
your classic shonen ending.
Oh no.
I'm not going to spoil it too much because Food Wars is kind of big.
Yeah, and I'm gonna
But-
watch it.
but
I'm still watching the final season.
it's,
Or not
uh,
the final season, but whatever season is airing.
Yeah, so I mean that
Behind
finally
on it,
ended. But
I have watched a couple other things now.
are you still watching Cautious Hero?
I haven't started it because I don't
You
have
haven't started Cautious
Funimation.
Hero?
Are you still watching Cautious
Yeah,
Hero?
I'm still watching.
I've heard
Cautious
it's
Hero.
great.
I mean, I haven't watched any
Perfect.
more.
I look okay. So
What's
here's
the
what I've
latest
been
episode
watching.
you've seen.
Look,
One.
Oh my goodness.
I'm thinking about getting Funimation just so I can watch that
Do
because I've
it.
heard good things. So I'm caught up with Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
It's still really good. Things are happening. It looks like the war's finally going to happen between the two
Nice.
things. So
Nice.
we're starting a new arc now. Fire Force, some really cool stuff is happening. Things are moving a little bit. Really love it. My Hero, it's My Hero.
I haven't started My Hero
Like,
yet.
if you like My Hero,
started it either.
it's only 4 episodes in
Yeah.
for this season. Did they take a break at
I
some
think they
point?
had to take a week off or something.
And they
Okay.
also started with a recap. I don't know
Yeah.
if that counts. But yeah.
No, actually, I think I count. I think with
Yeah,
the 4
that's
episodes,
episode
it's
one.
one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
episode 1's the recap.
Yeah. It's not like a true recap, though.
It's the My Hero recap.
Yeah.
Where they kind of do story and tell about past events.
recap.
SAO,
course.
still a perfect show.
Yeah,
Still a perfect show. Gotta watch it. Gotta love it.
You know,
If you're gonna watch it though, at this point, if you haven't already been like keeping up with Alicization or you haven't started the last season, just wait until this one's done. It's only a 12 episode arc, I think, and then you could just watch all of Alicization all the way through.
12.
I believe so.
Well, you have to get used to those SAO names because we're using them in our Pokemon playthrough.
Yeah, we are. We are. Named our starter Asuna.
Yeah, and we got Leafa on the squad.
Oh,
so
man.
check that out.
Average. I don't.
I
I
just
don't
want to be average in the next
Did-
life.
I just want to be average in my next life. I'm having fun with
I
it.
love that
it's,
show.
It's not. It's not great. It's
No.
not perfect. I like the turn it's taking, where it's
Yeah.
actually getting a little bit more serious. Like there's almost like consequences for things.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's. I don't know. It could go bad and try to take it like a we want to be Madoka Magica way, which could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just like, hey, we're just kind of doing this because we want a little bit more weight than just cute girls doing isekai.
Yeah.
Which I'm still fine with.
Yeah.
But that's what Free Hertz needs to work on.
But I'm having
Like,
I'm having fun.
The characters are all fun. They all work together
are.
really nicely.
They do. They do.
Like when they did the background story explanation,
Yeah.
it was really just them around a campfire talking,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun. Well, there were some references in there that
Yeah.
were a lot of fun.
Yep.
There was a JoJo reference.
is.
There was a Hyoko reference.
There is.
There's a Silver Surfer / Terminator reference.
Yep.
And the floating nano machine dude is basically a giant Pokemon reference.
He
or
really is.
a magical girl reference.
Yeah.
So they pulled all the stops for that one.
I saw something interesting. Assassin's Pride. I don't know what it is. I like the picture. So I've added it to my list. I haven't watched any of it.
Funny thing about that show.
Uh-huh.
So I stay over here at Chase's after we record,
Mhm.
and then the next day we usually watch something. We were watching Mix.
Yeah.
We finally got through all that.
Good. I'm sorry.
So we were looking for something else to watch.
Yeah.
And I mentioned to Chase like, "Hey, I thought about checking out Assassin's Pride,"
Uh-huh.
and Chase is like, "Hey, me too. Let's watch it."
Is it really bad?
We watched the first episode. It started good.
Oh no.
Then it just was like, F it, we're going deep. then it sucked. So then we watched episode 2. Chase absolutely hated it. I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Then we got like 5 minutes into episode 3, and I was like, Chase, just turn it off.
There was a point where like the bad guy is there and he has her captured.
Yeah.
And then he has her and the main girl and another girl captured and stuff. Yeah. And she's like, oh no, we're captured. And he had like mechs or something like that with him or something like that.
Be so
capturing
bad?
her. And the main girl's just like, I know what to do. She looks over. There's a skeleton of like a dinosaur. And she grabs one of the legs. Bam, 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 bam.
No.
It's just bad
Bam.
story.
Okay.
Finally knocks it over, and it like
So-
tumbles on the guy's monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she runs away with the other girl, and he's like, "Crap, they got away."
Yeah. It's just
And that's when he said, "Turn it off."
yeah, there's
Turn
things
it
like
off.
that. And then I was starting to overthink the story. So there's this saying like she doesn't have powers in her family because she might be part of an affair or something like that.
Mhm.
So the main dude injects his mana blood or whatever into her.
Nice.
So she becomes under his class as samurai, but she's supposed to be a paladin, which are broken. So then I'm just sitting there thinking, I was like, well, if he can just concentrate his mana and like inject it into her, and she becomes his class and she awakens to her mana, can't they just do something in the world like they have these pure bloodlines where they just keep injecting their blood and mana into their, offspring?
Yeah.
So they can continue on like a paladin line or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there was just other exposition of like the bad guy was saying something like,
just
we gotta
doesn't make
research something.
sense.
I was like, why? Like he literally did something that breaks the boundaries of your world. So why can't you just abuse this system?
Oh,
It also
man.
looks bad.
Yeah, it was.
It looks kind of
Okay,
terrible.
don't worry. I've already dropped
Yeah,
it.
it's not worth it. We suffered through
Don't do it.
2.25 episodes for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for your loss.
You're welcome.
Also, Food Wars.
Yeah.
I'm behind on that. I haven't seen any more of that in weeks.
Yeah.
I need to get a little bit caught up.
Well, that's
but at the
it.
same time, it's kind of it's like a tournament arc kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's almost easier to just binge those.
it is super easy to binge that.
And then finally, the piece de resistance. High school prodigies have it easy even in another world. Let me be clear. This show is some of the weirdest hot garbage.
Yeah, I dropped it at episode 3
It's-
after the magician.
Let me be I want to be absolutely clear about this. It is not good. It's like a 5. If things really go well for it, I could bump it up to a 6, but it's like a 5, probably a 4.
Mine's like a 2, maybe a 3.
I'm having fun with it though.
I hated it.
I'm having fun with it.
He's having
It's
fun with
stupid.
it.
I don't like most of the things that are happening. Every once in a while, it'll do something. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. And
I
then
feel
it'll
you.
do stuff. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you going so over the top? Why you gotta be edgy like this? Why you gotta rely so much on the mayonnaise? And I don't even mean that in like our little inside joke mayonnaise. I mean,
Right, right.
literally, there's mayonnaise in the show.
They bring over mayonnaise from the world to sell it because everybody loves the taste of it.
And he's all like, all right, time to overthrow the government. We've
Yep.
got to come into power. I know what the best way, the most easy way to do this to help the people understand what's
Right,
going
right,
on.
right.
We're going to create a religion. We're going to create a fake religion. We're going to be the 7 lights angels or
Yeah.
whatever. And now these prodigies are masquerading as angels, essentially, for this religion. I'm like, is that really the best way to do? I mean, I get it. You're the world's best politician. I understand
Somehow.
that.
Right,
But-
right.
And then, oh my gosh, one of these last episodes I just watched today, it was like, the girl's like, hey, thank you. I really like you. Thank you so much and everything.
Right,
Wants to
right,
thank
right.
him or whatever. And he's like, you wouldn't like me if you really knew me. And she's like, but you're so kind. And he's like, but you don't know that I killed my father. and then he goes into the backstory, and it's just like his father was a corrupt politician that he really looked up to. And, then,
Right.
and then when he found out he was corrupt, he was like, oh, I can't do that. So him, the ninja reporter prodigy and the merchant prodigy guy
Right.
worked together, and they found out all the information or whatever, and they put it in the hands of those in power, and then he got on trial, and then they hanged him because apparently in this world, that's still a punishment in Japan, which I'm pretty sure it isn't.
I don't think they have capital punishment
I
there.
don't think they do.
Especially by
Don't worry
hanging.
about it. Don't worry about it. He's a
But-
politician.
So they do that, and then he's like, I'm guilty. I did this. I killed my father. And I'm like, that's not really how that works. And at the same time, I'm like,
I mean, he went through all the correct channels.
he did. And I'm like, this character's, his whole thing is like being totally selfless, putting literally everyone before him
Yeah.
instead of him. And I'm like, anyone with that mindset wouldn't feel bad about that happening.
Yeah.
In at least not how I think about it. But
Right.
I don't know. It's just oh man, that
The
show,
real question is,
it's not super great.
does the elf girl still want to slip him the tongue?
Oh, absolutely.
Whoa, dude.
Oh,
Dude.
there's
And does Inventor Girl want to slip him the tongue?
well, definitely.
Hey, come
So
on
that
now.
that triangle last episode, that just kind of that
Okay.
triangle's doing stuff now. She saw
That was like the most frustrating thing to watch in that
So-
show.
after the elf girl was like, well, that wasn't your fault or whatever, and I'm so sorry you had to go through that. He's like, oh, thank you. It makes me feel better. And then he was like, you know what? You can do something to help me. I'm really tired. Let me lay down and sleep on your lap. So that happened. And then that's when Inventor Girl saw him in that position. And now she's all like, freaking out.
What?
Because now there's this love triangle. Because
Yeah.
that has to be there.
And it was
Dude.
hinted at in the OP.
So I highly recommend don't watch it. But also, I'm going to watch it.
Nice.
Watch it for us, because I dropped it at episode 3 because the magician.
Okay, well I'm doing this so you can drop it, and you drop Assassin's Pride so
Yes.
I can drop it. So
Yes.
we are all
Teamwork.
good.
That's
Yes.
what we do here at
BakaTaka.
BakaTaka. Well, everyone, you just listened to another episode of the world's greatest weeb podcast out there, BakaTaka.
Yeah.
If you think so, then don't forget to leave a comment down below saying I agree.
I do agree, and I'm
Oh.
George.
I agree. I'm Eric.
You guys aren't.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, we're going.
Like and
to do
subscribe.
that. I was going to do that part first and stuff.
Oh.
And I'm on the right, and I'm Chase.
Okay.
Oh, but I forgot the Mandalorian.
Oh, that's a.
Don't worry about it. It's good. Just watch it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm allowed to
don't-
tell you anyway. It's
don't
Star
forget that-
Wars.
Send us out.
Don't forget that BakaTaka has always come first, supported by Boomslink, and that was all. And goodbye, everyone.
Later.
Peace.
Where's the end button?
How would you ever get someone to like fall into that one? Testes who? Who's Testes?
Testes nuts.
Testes nuts?
Oh, like if we go over to Testes.
Who's Testes?
Testes nuts. Got him.
Does he live near Joe?
Joe.
You fool! You absolute moron! You ignorant buffoon! Look at the mistake you made! You certainly are the dumbest person that's ever lived! I'm about to end your whole career! Joe Mama!